Hello, 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 hello. Sit and sip a while, and welcome back to The Witch's Inn. I am That Witch Karena, and today I kind of feel like I'm coming in a bit as like a hot mess. I don't know, like even the camera feels like it's like reflecting weirdly off my glasses, and just like I don't know. It's It is what it is. And I am not making excuses for my appearance because our appearance is our appearance. But what I am saying and what I am getting to is that this channeled message seems to be this place where um, things sometimes have to become a way that, like, you're like, oh, I don't really, what's going on here? I don't like this. Um, in order to get to a place that feels a little bit more balanced and a little bit more understanding of self. I have like a massive breakout on my chin, and like it's even coming up into my cheeks, which is like so unusual. And yeah, it's always this place where I find that like the healing journey is like, are you going to keep stepping forward, or are you going to revert back to where you were before? And within this Lionsgate portal, right? Lionsgate always happens to be this place of like true shadow integration, right? Because that's what Leo season is about. Leo season is about this like true shadow integration, right? Are you going to step up and out into kind of this like worldview, allow people to see you for exactly who you are, what you look like, how you present, and not feel fear, not feel like you need to mask, not feel like you need to kind of wear like makeup. And I don't mean makeup as in like, but like this a filter, I guess, right? Like truly, honestly, just like be who you are and allow yourself that space, that time. Um, and within that shadow integration, it allows for this like generational healing. It allows for like this DNA activation. It allows for the manifestations to take place, to take hold. And so the Lionsgate portal happens on August 8th. Well, it starts July 26th and goes till August 12th, which I always think, has always been very interesting to me, because it's like, why is there so much of a lead up and then just drops off, right? Like the peak is August 8th, and then it's like, bye. Like 4 days later, it's like, okay, we're done. Deuces. See you later. But there's like almost like a full week and a half before this like very real lead up, like almost 2 weeks, if you really think about it, to this peak that happens. And it's this place where it's like, oh, because maybe, maybe that's actually the whole point of healing, is that you know, we experience this really big lead up. We get all this information that just kind of like funnels to us. That's like, oh, okay, there's more, there's more, there's more, there's more, there's more, there's more. And then we like peak and we're like, okay, I'm not accepting this, or like, I am accepting this. I am welcoming this. I am doing whatever. Because like, remember, your healing shouldn't just be about like fixing what's broken. And I'm going to use that like in air quotes. Your healing should be about stretching your capacity, like as a person, to one, yes, step past those like trauma responses and stuff. But like, we need to replace that, right? If we're just focusing on like healing, I need to become a better person, then really it's just like perfectionism, like tied in a nice little spiritual bow. Where if you're like, oh, my healing is also a part of me recognizing like where I'm a really good person, where I get to experience love and joy and like insight and magnetism and beauty and grace, like that is a more important part of our healing journey than being in this place where we're replaying stories, being like, I wasn't perfect here, or someone else wasn't perfect here, or whatever, whatever, whatever. And like, how can I fix this? How can I fix this? How can I fix this? Perfectionism. We're instead being like, wow, I am pretty perfect. you know? And so maybe that might be the point of this Lionsgate portal that we actually have this opportunity to really see and feel and experience, like, what have I made possible? What have I made possible by, like, looking at my shadow self? What am I welcoming in? What am I allowing? What is here for me to hold instead of here for me to, like, let go of and reject and move away from? And then we peak on August 8th and be like, wow, wow, look at what I have manifested. Look at how my capacity has stretched. Look at how I am able to hold so much more. So much more like love and abundance, but also maybe so much more tolerance or resilience to what makes me uncomfortable. And then we have those 4 days to be like, "Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you," and then boom, new life. Boom, new chapter. Boom, new portal. Boom, whatever. And again, this doesn't mean that you have to go back and be like, "Okay, here we go, hard work. Let's go, let's go, let's go." Maybe the point of this Lionsgate portal, you can allow this opportunity for you to be like, "I'm just like, going forward, I'm just going to experience joy." And again, that doesn't mean that like bad things don't happen. Adversity, resilience, this space where like life happens, right? But when that happens, I'm going to look at it from like, wow, look how well I am handling this instead of a place of why is this happening to me? What have I done wrong in my life that this has to keep happening to me? Wow, I have noticed a pattern and I'm no longer allowing these things. And so, yeah, it's going to be hard. That's going to be a hard transition. But look how well I'm handling it. Look how well I'm actually moving through this. And what a beautiful place of healing rather than this space where it's like I I'm in the wrong. I have to what's wrong with me? This DNA activation, this Lionsgate portal, nothing's wrong with me. So, I don't know, this Lionsgate portal, this is just like a quick little channeled message for you. See that in yourself. See how your capacities change. See how like things might be like a bit weird, a bit disheveled. Like, I posted today on Instagram that like, that Shania Twain song up, like even my skin is acting weird. Like, yeah, we do need to take step back in order to take a step forward. But that step back doesn't need to be from a place of like, ugh, why? Instead of a place of like, okay, I'm adjusting, I'm changing. Clearly, I picked this pimple, but like, I'm not doing it to the others. Life is changing. This year for me in 2025 um, has been a year where I have let a lot go. And although unfortunately it has come with a lot of letting go of like people, but ultimately those people were attached to old patternings for me. A place where I would like constantly self abandon in order to create alchemy. And instead, I truly decided that, like, no, that's not for me. I'm going to see this for what it is. And that, like, these people aren't bad people, right? But they're just not right for me. They're just not right for me because they perpetuate a pattern for me that doesn't make me feel very good. I don't like it. Makes me feel like I'm at a loss. And it does make me feel like there's a brokenness in me and that there's something that I need to fix. When in reality, it really is just like, no, this just isn't it. Like this, and it never was it. And like, it's time for you to experience joy. And it's not that joy never lived with these people. It's more or less this place where it's like, true joy, true alignment, true, like, what makes me feel good inside, not at a loss. It's not here. And so it's like when I'm working with my coaching clients, I tell them all the time, like, they're like, I need to remove this, I need to remove that, I need to remove this. Why? Why do you need to remove it? What's going to happen if you remove it? What if we add something that actually kind of makes you feel the way that you want to be feeling, so that when things fall away, they're falling away because that's just the natural progression of it, right? It's why diets don't work, because we go from like living our lives a certain way to then all of a sudden restricting. We don't like restriction. It like requires a lot of willpower. And if you are someone who's like been conditioned to not like trust yourself, that is so much harder to overcome, because you're like, you have always been with yourself. And so you're like, well, I can start tomorrow, I can start tomorrow, I can start tomorrow, right? The Monday diet. I'll start on Monday. Where instead, if you're like, I'm gonna add this to my lifestyle, I'm gonna start adding a 15-minute walk. I'm going to start adding a salad a day. I'm going to start adding journaling. I'm going to start adding whatever. It's just as hard, but it's you're able to feel the gratification so much quicker, right? When we're restricting, we're in this place where it's like, well, I want to feel that gratification. We don't feel gratification from restricting. Where at the end of the day, we're like, I feel like shit. I just restricted all day. We're more prone to like binging the behavior that we don't want later. Where when we add, we get that instant gratification after we do it. Wow, I went for that walk. Wow, I ate that salad. Wow, whatever. It doesn't matter if it doesn't like feel good, if we're not seeing the instant results in the sense of like weight loss or patterns changing or whatever. It's building a tolerance, it's building resilience up in our body that actually allows us to like complete what we want to complete. That's alchemy. Changing raw material, right? Changing raw material into something else. An idea, the raw material is an idea. If I do this, this will happen. I will feel like this. That, and the alchemy that happens, the magic that happens is that dopamine hit after you get it. Ooh, I did it. I did it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And what happens is that you build up this tolerance so that when life starts pushing back at you, when you start, experiencing the weird skin, the like, oh, I look weird. People start saying you're acting different. Da, da, da. You're not going like, oh, I should shrink back. You're like, well, I feel good. So I'm going to step forward in this. But again, that can be hard if you don't have a support system, a community that's helping you. So within this Lionsgate portal as well, maybe start asking yourself where you need help, where you need to step out of hyper independence. I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. Seeing that as a pattern, and a pattern that, like, yes, led to strength, which is again a very common theme of Leo season, but where strength now is asking you to lean into community, lean into assistance, lean into an area where you're like, I'm struggling today. And that people, places, a coach might be able to step in and be like, let me help you. Let me remind you of who you are and how far you've come. Maybe you have a partner that helps you with this, right? But so much. And again, for me, a big activation since this 26th of July is me recognizing that, like, part of my hyper independence, part of my patterning, part of me really needing to get uncomfortable is this place where recognizing that it's very, very easy for me to extend out and check in on other people and put my emotion aside Or even saying in a place like, "Well, I'm not feeling very good, so maybe you're not feeling very good." Right? That over empathetic energy, and actually being in a place where I'm like, "Oh, no, let me be that for me," and extend out being like, "I need support. I need help." But going to the people, places, and things that actually will help me and not just, again, perpetuate a pattern where I'm saying, "I need help," and then the person coming back being like, "Yeah, me too." And it's like, "Perfect. I don't have to concentrate on me. Now I can do that thing where, like, I'm actually helping you," which is what I really wanted in the first place, because that makes me feel good inside. Where reaching out and finding help for me, that makes me feel selfish. That is going very much against my conditioning, very much about against my DNA activation. And maybe you feel similar if you, especially if you're like a firstborn daughter or a caretaker. This is huge conditioning in caretakers and firstborn daughters. Diminish what you need, diminish what you're feeling because it makes other people feel uncomfortable or they just don't understand it. I don't understand why you feel that way. Why would you feel that way? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't need to make sense for you. It makes sense for me. And that's the type of community, that's the type of support that you're needing during big transitions. And so as this Lionsgate's portal kind of comes to this peak, I'm recording this on the 5th, the 6th. Oh, no, the 5th of um, August, right? So as this Lionsgate portal kind of like begins to open up and we come into this like full moon activation, because there's a full moon right before the Lionsgate portal on the 7th. So right before we come into this full moon activation and then this Lionsgate portal, really like notice like, okay, I'm tired, but why? Why am I tired? Have I been holding a lot more emotionally for me instead of extending out? Because that's going to change. That's going to make this capacity look very different. And so to end this reading, this channeled message, this this insight into the Lionsgate portal, I want you to know that you're doing a great job for you, wherever you might be, that you are not broken, and that if you are looking to create change, that sustainable change comes when we add, not when we try to restrict. So add to your life. And if you're struggling with that, reach out. Maybe a tarot reading is exactly what you need. I offer those. Maybe a coaching container is what you need, right? With me one-on-one. Or maybe you are actively looking to awaken that witch within and ready to truly step through these portal doors. And so within that, I invite you to the Witch Within Coven, where you get to learn tools like tarot that's going to help you activate your intuition, that's going to help you look at the stories that are rooted in your shadow. Then we move into divination work, where you learn the very basics of witchcraft and why, not just like how to do it, but why you do it that way. And again, not why I do it that way, but why you are doing it this way. We then move into tarot embodied so we can go even deeper into tarot to pull out stories. And then we go into Witching 102, which is very seminar based. And it's very, like, very shadow, very talking, very, like, from the beginning to the end. We purposely look at the birth and death cycle on a more in depth level than in Witching 101 so that you can understand more or less your patternings. So we start by adding tools that then come through and assist you in order to be like, okay, so here we go. Here is alchemy of self. Here truly is this blooming of this witch within, with whatever that looks like for you. And again, that link is below. But what I want from you right now is I would love to you to go into the comments and let me know what resonated the most about this chat? Where did you feel it? Like in your body or in your experience? Maybe it pulled out a memory for you. Claim it as your intuitive knowing and let me support you in the comments. All right, everyone. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope you have just this amazing, amazing time during this full moon in Aquarius, this Lionsgate portal activation. And until next time, I am That Witch Karena. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will talk to you later. Bye.